So that ends very strangely. So we're going to be also trying on different hats today because, as per usual, Hudson ate another hat because he's an ass. But yeah, so it's not Josh. Josh is not the subject of this video. I was just kind of, why are you doing this? I'm just awake. I was fiddling around in my office and I came across a video from a page called We Got a Case, but it looks like they got it from Credence and Mikey. We're going to watch it anyway. It seems to be an absolutely disgusting human being. And I think you guys are going to agree with me once I start playing this. I'm going to play the video and then I'm going to go run and do something for 3 seconds. Yeah, he seems like a terrible human being. Also, let me throw this on because I made this because I'm attempting to be fancy. I don't like that. We'll just do that. Tis what it is. All right, I'm going to play this video. Then I'm going to go run upstairs and grab some peppermints and whatnot because I threw this together last second. I was cleaning my office. Everything's different except for the fish tank and TV because I know you guys like that. How am I not a mod? We took everyone's mod and then we took everyone's wrench except for mine, Erica, and Jennifer's. And then Jennifer is dealing with some family stuff. And I know Erica is taking some time off to, do family stuff. So it's kind of just me wrenching my own channel at this point. But yeah, let's play this video. You guys are going to enjoy it.
What is the
Already messed it up. Let's try this again.
Right, so I have
There we
court
go.
on the 15th for my other child. So it would be.
All right, now I'll be right back.
But that again,
are you and Miss Booth together, or is she a friend?
she's together. We're together.
Right. And if you move to Indian River, is she moving with you?
We have not discussed that yet, Your Honor.
All right. And do you know if you move to Indian River, is that a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, or do you know?
It's a 2-bedroom.
Okay. What do you do for employment, sir?
I work at the Elbow Inn part-time.
Okay. How many hours roughly?
But I will not be working. I will not be working there if I move to Indian River. It's too far of a drive.
All right. How many hours are you working?
Anywhere from 28 to 35.
And if you move to Indian River, what's the plan for employment?
So when I lived there previously, I worked for Mola Aerospace, and they said that if I wanted to reapply, that they would take me back. So I'm gonna reapply.
All right, so what you got to listen to is not so much his anything. He's not going to snitch on himself. If I had what he has, I wouldn't either. She's just going to put everything out there and not care at all.
Sir, anything else you want me to know, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Ms. Peel, do you have any questions for Mr. Rohr while he's at this time?
Not that I know of at this moment, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Rohr, did you have any other witnesses you wanted to call?
Witnesses? No, sir.
All right. All right, so then I will turn to Ms. Peel. Ms. Peel, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. This is your opportunity then to provide me testimony regarding your desires for custody and parenting time.
All right. I met Noah in August of 2018 at McDonald's. He and I became in a relationship around October of 2018. I found out I was pregnant with Angel December 24th, 2018. When I met Noah, he told me that he was born a crack baby and was adopted at the age of 7. Before he was adopted, he was sexually abused by foster parents and uncle. His adoptive parents had put him in Newberry Hospital at the age of 12 when he physically and sexually abused his adoptive brother. They kicked him out of the home when he was 14. He stated he had severe depression, bipolar, stomach cancer, and had broken his back in a skiing accident. During my pregnancy, I was constantly depressed since he kept telling me everything was my fault. I found out that he was cheating on me, was very manipulative, and keeping me under his thumb.
Here comes the good stuff.
After Angel was born, he barely bathed her, changed her clothes, or diapered her since he believed that because she was a girl, he should not be handling her private parts. I did most of the bathing, clothing, and loving on Angel. The manipulation and arguing continued until Angel was about 5 months old when we got into an altercation due to him getting another woman pregnant, and CPS became involved. Angel was put into foster care until November 3rd, 2021, when we got her back full time. Noah has 5 children, as well as Angel.
Yes, muted. Thank you. I'm turning into Hezekiah now. So I muted it so that I could put a mint in. So he has 5 kids and seems utterly unwilling to just do the basic things for a child, bathe and put a diaper on them. And I was saying that, yeah, I haven't muted myself like that in a while. All the baby stuff for KFAR child number 5 is already down here. Like I'm 7-8 month pre-staging all of like the crib stuff, all the bed, the blankets, all that stuff. And this dude's got 5 and doesn't want to do anything.
He has not supported any of his children, nor had any contact with them. He is unable to hold a job, has not lived in a stable situation other than living with my grandmother on and off for 4 years.
And here comes a kicker.
In April 2022, about a week after we moved into a new home with my grandmother, I found out that he was having an affair with my mother, who was also living with us. My mother was on probation at the time and was living with all of us. She was told by CPS that since she was a felon, that she should not be around Angel without parental supervision. However, Angel would leave Angel with her most of the time during his parenting time. Around September 2022, I moved.
So yes, he cheated on her, the mother of his child, with her mother. So the grandmother of his child, which is weird to me. But again, she just keeps going and it gets worse. This is where somebody brought up the Earl David Warden, and I said, he maybe gets there.
Moved out of my grandmother's home and got an apartment for myself and Angel with my own funding. Around October 10th, 2022, Noah and my grandmother had an altercation in which he grabbed her and she slapped him. My grandmother told him to get out of the house. He moved out on January 1st, 2023, along with my mother. They are still together at this time. I have many conversations with one of Noah's underage girls with whom he had sexual relations with. Amaya Sherman was 14 years old when he started having intimate relations with her. I have had approximately 4 over-the-phone conversations with her, as well as the texts and photos from evidence that I have tried to put in today.
So not only her, but he's got 5 kids. Went from her to her mom, and then went, that's a bit old. Now he's going to go for 14-year-old. Rumor has it, News Now Houston needs a roommate.
Showing that before she was 18, she was driving my grandmother's car without permission and staying at my grandmother's and babysitting for Noah while he went out to have sex with other women. Amaya has told me that she is having the police investigating Noah, and the Detroit police has contacted me for information about Noah in around March or April of this year. I was also involved in the relationship with Bronwyn as she lived with Noah and I for a few months before she became pregnant with Noah's son. Around December 2022, he apparently cheated on my mother with another woman in Indian River, and she was pregnant when she found out about it. She left him for a while.
So from this girl to her mom, from that to a 14-year-old who he called over to watch his kid so that he could go cheat with another girl. And now he just cheated on somebody and got that person pregnant too. He should keep it in his pants.
But is with him. The girl in Indian River has a baby girl, I believe. After moving out of my grandmother's house in January, he took his RV and placed it in the back of her home and lived there for about 6 weeks before she kicked him out. I found out from Amaya that Noah has told her that he has another woman, unknown, who is currently 6 months pregnant with his child. In February 2023, Noah and my mother temporarily moved in with me at my apartment, stating that they had nowhere else to go. 2 weeks later, an altercation occurred with the police and CPS being involved. Noah.
The fact that she got cheated on by him with her mother, and then he got 2 other people pregnant, did some inappropriate business with a 14-year-old, and then she goes, yeah, you can move in with us. It's fine. Mom and ex-boyfriend / stepdad. That's weird to me. Also, ever heard of a condom dude? He has a weak pullout game. No, rumor has it he has no pullout game whatsoever. It's not weak. It's just not there.
Was trying to take Angel away with no place to go.
I don't
there
know
was
why.
A report made as to what occurred. Since March 3rd, 2023, Noah has not seen his child because of the altercation. The police told him not to see Angel. She has been having nightmares that her dad is going to choke her and take her away. She does not even want to talk to him. I am in the process of obtaining a psychiatrist who deals with childhood trauma. That is all, Your Honor.
Ma'am, what is your mom's name?
Call it. Could call it just
Kaylee
right there.
Booth.
All right, so that's the individual he's residing with. Okay, thank you. All right, and where do you live?
I would live
All right. And how many bedrooms are in that apartment?
2.
And who else lives with you?
Anthony Contreras.
And do you and him share a room and Angel has her own room, or what's the bedroom situation?
Yeah, she has her own room and me and him share a room.
I'm glad
And
she moved on.
What's your plan moving forward? Do you intend to remain in that apartment, or are you planning on moving soon?
I plan to remain in this apartment for a while.
Okay. And what is your source of income?
I currently work at Metal Lodge. I'm finishing up classes to be CNA at Metal Lodge.
Okay. How many hours roughly do you work a week?
Anywhere from 38 to 42, if not more.
And when do you intend to have your CNA completed?
Within this month.
And what do you do for childcare for Angel when you're working?
Currently my boyfriend is watching her while I'm at work.
And it's your testimony that Noah hasn't seen Angel since March, is that correct?
Yes.
And you mentioned that CPS said he's not to see. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I couldn't hear you.
Did you say CPS told you not to let Noah see her?
The police said that CPS had said not to contact him whatsoever.
Okay.
And vice versa for me. Your
Hold on,
Honor.
sir. You'll get your chance again. So is there an open CPS investigation at this time, or was one not opened, if you know?
There is one currently at this time.
And what's the status with that?
It should be around
Let's see if this works today.
2 more months and then it should be over.
All right, well, what are they doing? Are they requiring you to do certain things? Are they requiring him to do certain things, or do you not know?
They're requiring you to finish
Popped up.
classes,
Here.
keep the stable home, call WIC, and the licensing, and just keep doing what I'm doing and going forward.
You said there was an incident at the house. What incident can mean a lot of things. So was there anything physical? What
There-
happened?
There was physical on his part. I had told him no to ordering pizza because I had to pay for billing, and he had started an argument. So I had gone over to my friend's house and took Angel with me to calm down for the night. And I told him to leave my residence.
So he threw away his relationship with, I feel like the relationship with the baby mama was probably gone before this, but with his child over pizza. And in my head, just from what they're talking about, it probably wasn't the most expensive pizza in the world.
And then he came by 15, 25 minutes later and started knocking on the door, which I had tried to ignore, like the police had said. And then he just said that he wanted her to say goodnight to Angel, which I said he could say goodnight through the peak of the door
Which was
because I had felt he was going to do something. And she pulled the door open a little further, and he tried running off with her into my apartment.
I bet it was about pineapple.
And she freaked out. And then when I had her tried to have her come to me multiple times, he kept whipping her backwards and hit her head on the wall, and also ended up leaving bruises on her rib cage, a scratch on her collarbone, a bruise on her head, scratch on her hip. And this altercation lasted about 11 minutes.
Were the police called or not?
Yes, they were called. They were there within 5 minutes.
All right. And which agency was that?
Hey, it doesn't seem like somebody was willing to sleep with him. It seems like a lot of people were willing to sleep with him.
I
City.
believe the sheriff's department.
No, city.
And was anybody arrested or not?
No,
And so then there was CPS involvement after that. Is that correct?
yes.
All right. Anything else you want me to know, ma'am?
Speaking of Jerry and Samantha, they just sparked up a live stream a few days ago. And Samantha was the DJ, and you could just hear Jeremiah talking shit from the background. But I don't know if they e-bagged, and it definitely wasn't about auditing.
Not that I know of at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Warren, this is your chance then to ask questions of Ms. Peel.
Well, first of all, do you have any police report of alleged abuse and or that you've submitted to the court today?
I have photos.
Did you submit those to the court today?
I don't know if they went through. I am not aware of whether they went through or not.
Okay. how do you plan to get Angel to and from appointments without a driver's license and or licensed driver or insurance? Because I know the car that you've been using is not insured.
It is currently insured. And I plan also this month to get everything settled.
Okay, what
And
is
I will
your
have,
what is your plan of action when your fibromyalgia flares up?
I am currently in remission. I have not had any flare-ups. I have been
Well,
doing well.
I'm happy for you. Who watches Angel while you're at work? I believe that was already answered, so you don't have to answer that.
Anthony,
How do you plan on meeting halfway for drop off and pickups for visitation with no vehicle?
I will be getting a vehicle on my tax returns. And until then,
That's a year away.
there is willing to let me borrow the car.
Wait, so he's in your comment section right now? Like at what point? I mean, he's going to be in your comments for probably about, what time is it? About midnight for the next 4 hours. Because that's what he does. He'll stay up until 4 or 5 just trying to spam comment you, which is hilarious to me.
Okay. Do you think it is within Angel's best interest to keep her away from her father?
She currently does not want to talk to you. I have asked her
That is not
multiple
her
times if
choice.
she wants to see you. I believe it is her choice.
That is not the question. Do you believe that it is within Angel's best interest to keep her away from her father?
Yes, I do at this point in time.
In the case of who this guy is, yes, absolutely. It's a great idea to keep her away from him.
Can you please elaborate?
She is highly traumatized after that. She has well over 4 nightmares a night
Do you think
about
that...
you, her,
Hold on, sir, you gotta let her finish.
Okay, I apologize.
about you choking her, about you stealing her, and she wakes up crying.
Okay, I understand that and I respect what you're saying, but that is not her decision and it is not your decision. It is, I am her father.
Sir, you gotta ask questions at this point, not
Okay,
make statements.
okay. So my next question is, do you have any evidence to back up the accusations that you just presented to friend of court?
I do. And it's through the Detroit police as well.
That's it.
All right, so I did get some, apparently there was an email sent with some text messages. Is that what you sent, Ms. Peel?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, and what are these text messages?
So the text messages, I'll just, blow this up real quick. So it's a text messages between him and or her and the 14-year-old. So obviously they're going to be like, can't use that shit. And then the other stuff is stuff the 14-year-old took pictures of, and they're going to be like, well, she's not here to explain it. So that could have been crazy if she actually came to court. That would be the oddest thing.
Just conversations you had with somebody else?
With Maya, the one that was underage at 14 that had sexual relations and watched my daughter while he would go out.
Okay, those
Ugh.
that would be hearsay. Her comments are hearsay if she's not here to testify. So I can't accept those text messages as evidence. I then see a few pictures. I'm not sure what each of these pictures show, so if you want to submit something as evidence, you've got to explain to me what the purpose of these pictures are and what they show.
Okay, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Yes.
it appears Mr. Ware has disappeared from our Zoom.
Okay.
Can we pause for a moment to see if he comes back?
Yes, so Ms. Peel, once he gets back in, then I'll have you explain to me these pictures and we'll see if they're admitted into evidence or not. No problem. All right, so we do have him back. So Ms. Peel, I was asking you about these photos that you submitted.
These are photos that Amaya Sherman had taken while with Noah War.
Okay, so she took these. All right.
Yes.
So she took these photos and she's not here to verify their accuracy. I cannot admit those. So those will not be introduced as exhibits. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Moore, you did not have any questions for Ms. Peel, is that correct?
No, sir.
Did you have any rebuttal testimony you wanted to provide based on her testimony?
Yes, please.
All right, go ahead.
So I have, the police report states that there was no child abuse whatsoever.
Also, I believe that it's so weird. The girlfriend slash mother slash the grandmother of the baby, I believe, is sitting shotgun for this guy, and they're talking the entire time, which is so weird.
And then threatened, Emily also threatened her mother, grabbed her by her arm, and that she was tugging at Angel while she was in my arms. Not that I ripped her from her. And she scratched her and me. I have scratches and pictures of that, and that should be on the police report that was filed, that Emily scratched me, and that it was an altercation between me and Anthony, Mr. I don't remember how to say his last name. Not alleged abuse of Angel.
Does anyone have this report or not?
I do not have it, no.
Okay. And was CPS ever involved with you?
Yes, I'm the one who made the police report. I mean, I'm the one who called there because she said that I'm never going to see my kid again. That's when I filed the next morning for a hearing.
All right. Have you had any contact with CPS regarding that?
Yes, I've talked to Ann Sullivan, and I talked to Matt last week, Matt Lawrence, and he stated that the thing that I need to do is get parenting time, and then we will discuss further action, is his exact wording. So once I have parenting time is when the case starts.
All right. So do you understand there's not an open case at this point, or there's just kind of
There is an open case, but until me and her have actual custody established, then there's nothing that they can do on my end of things that I'm supposed to work on.
So once that's established, that there will be perhaps some type of requirements for you or some type of safety plan?
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure that I'm about 90% sure that's what he was saying.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say?
No, sir. Wait, anything else, do you think? No, sir.
All right. Ms. Peel, did you have anything additional?
I do at this time, Your Honor.
No? Okay.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to take a short break, go through my notes regarding the testimony. I'll be back in probably 5 to 10 minutes, and I will make my recommendation at that time, okay? This is a custody matter
No, this is a shit
filed
show.
by Mr. War. Therefore, there is no proper cause or change of circumstances that is necessary to be addressed, since this is an initial custody matter. The court then has to determine if there is an established custodial environment with either one parent, both parents, or neither parent. Given the history in this matter, recent moves, recent changes of where the minor child is, including a period of time when the child was in foster care, I do not believe at this point that there is an established custodial environment with either parent. The next thing the court has to look at is the best interest factors. So I will review those on the record. The first factor is the love, affection, and emotional ties that exist between the parties involved and the child. I would find this factor is equal. I think both parents have love and affection with the minor child. The next factor is the capacity and disposition of the parties involved to give the child love, affection, and guidance. I would find this factor favors mom. Mom provided some testimony regarding her care for the child and her care, while dad testified regarding times that he lived together as a family unit. He did not provide testimony as to the things that he did for the child or to care for the child, so I find that factor favors the mother. The next factor is capacity and disposition of the parties involved to provide the child with food, clothing, and medical care. Mom testified regarding what she provides for the child, including medical care for the child. Dad did not really get into that testimony. He did testify he is working part-time. That may be changing here in the near future with a move. So as to this factor, I believe mom has a stronger capacity and disposition to provide those needs for the minor child. I would find that factor favors the mother. Next factor is the length of time the child has lived in a stable, satisfactory environment. Mom has been in her current environment since September. Dad has had a couple of moves since that time. I would find this factor favors the mother. The next factor is the permanence as a family unit of the existing or proposed custodial home or homes. Mom has testified that she intends to remain at her current residence. Dad is seeking residency potentially elsewhere. Not sure if that move is going to happen or not. There's certainly not stability and certainty regarding his residence moving forward, so I find that factor favors the mother. The next factor is the moral fitness of the parties involved. There have been certainly a lot of accusations and statements made regarding moral fitness in this matter, but really no hard introduced evidence regarding those issues. So given the lack of evidence, I'm going to find this factor is equal. The next factor is the mental and physical health of the parties involved. Again, I don't think there is enough evidence provided here today to find that this factor favors one party or the other, so I'll find this factor equal. Next factor is the homeschool and community record of the child. The child in this matter is not 4 years old yet, does not really have a home, school, and community record established, especially given the time period when the child was in foster care, so therefore I find this factor is not applicable. The next factor is the reasonable preference of the child. If the child is of sufficient age to express a preference. The child in this matter, again, is not 4 years old yet. The child is not of a sufficient age to have a in-camera interview conducted by me to express a preference, so that factor is not applicable. The next factor is the willingness and ability of the parties to facilitate and encourage a close and continuing parent-child relationship between the child and the parent. Dad has testified regarding his concerns of mom withholding the child since an incident in March. Mom has testified regarding her reasoning for that. I don't believe there was any malicious intent, just concerns by mom. There were certainly no court orders that have been violated by either party, so I'm going to find that this factor is equal. Next factor is domestic violence. There's some testimony regarding an incident, but the testimony provided to the court did not rise to the level of domestic violence.
All right, so somebody's going to have to tell me how many likes are on this video, because for some reason YouTube's telling me that there's already 12,000 likes on this video, and seeing as how there's only 97 people here, 12,000 seems a bit much. So somebody let me know.
Between the parties, and there's no other evidence of domestic violence by either party. So therefore, I find that factor is equal. When looking at the sum of the factors, I do believe the best interest factors do weigh in the favor of the defendant mother. When considering the custody arrangement, is this court's recommendation that the parties share joint legal custody, but that mom have the primary physical custody, and that dad have parenting time every other weekend from Friday at 6 p.m. until Sunday at 6 p.m. Transportation will be based on the standard transportation guidelines in the 46th Circuit Court, which is the receiving parent picks the child up at the start of their parenting time. I will also recommend that the parties share holidays pursuant to the 46th Circuit Court holiday schedule, which will be provided to the parties. The parties do have a right to object to this recommendation within 21 days. That information will be provided with the written order that is sent to you. I'll also recommend that a child support recommendation be prepared based on the court's recommended order.
And that's the video. Let me exit out here. All right. I'm trying to think if I should just play the video that I have teed up to make a video on after this. Lord, where was it at? Yeah, I'll just do that. Seems like a great idea. I might still do it later, but let's tee this up. It's going to be from Tommy V and MI. If you're not subscribed to him, go and do that. Oh, messed that up. Where is it? Tommy V and MI. Let's put you over here. And I believe, if I remember correctly, that Tommy V recorded an extra like 7 minutes at the end. So we're just going to have to cut it somewhere near the end. Yes, share that video. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be... So this is going to be a video that he did, and I'm not sure if I covered it. It's a eviction or a foreclosure, and she's a Moor or a sovereign citizen. And basically they had to restart because the lawyer missed something because of a medical issue. So they had to restart. And right off the bat, he has a lot to say. I never really have too many no mod chat is working. Even if I had mods, normally nobody got blocked unless it was just Josh. And before Josh would even get blocked, we would mess with him for like 20 minutes. All right, let's see here. We're going to play this and let me know if all the sound and everything's good.
I'll decide what's here. Okay, so you're all set. HP Foreclosure Solutions LLC versus Occupants, case number LT233511. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Is that Tracy Moore?
I believe so. For the record, for the plaintiff, Kevin Callahan, P7827.
Right, and you all got to switch tables.
Oh, that was. Thank you.
And Ms. Moore, tell us your name.
For the record, I'm here on special visitation.
Okay.
For that name. I'm not here as myself. I'm kind of doing different things.
Well, you've been known as Tracy Moore.
Yeah, but
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, Judge, if we're gonna play this game, I'm asked for a default enter now. I can't do that. I'm just saying.
well, oh, wait.
So,
Who
ma'am,
was this comment? I didn't hear what I'm saying.
he was saying that if you're not Tracy Moore occupant, and there's no other occupants
Well,
here.
I'm not an occupant. I'm here because this is my home.
I turned it up to
it's a
130%.
consumer
So
good,
hopefully that's loud
Yeah,
enough.
it's a consumer good.
Yeah, it's my home. It's where I live.
Well, it's not.
I have more than
What
interest.
are you getting consumer good from them? You know,
Well,
UCC,
No,
what's in that? Because a
it's in
home is
the
not a
CFPB.
consumer good.
It is. It's where I live. It's an essential
Though.
consumer good, yeah. Because it's where I live.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
Where I lay my head.
so what is your name?
Just say I'm here on behalf of.
You can't be here on behalf of anybody unless you're a lawyer.
Well,
The lawyers are the only
She's not.
people that can come on behalf of someone.
why though?
What?
Yeah, I mean, why? How?
That's the
representing
rules.
Somebody.
You know, and occasional, if you might have some kind of court order for guardianship or something, you know, you might be able to appear that way, but otherwise, no.
Well, again, I'm here on special visitation.
Now, what's a special visitation?
I'm
Who
not-
are you visiting?
Well, I'm visiting here, but
Okay.
I'm not, I don't know about the, like. not
Okay, well, we
about-
need to have some occupants or Tracy Moore. We don't have occupants of Tracy Moore. He's right. There's nobody here because you cannot appear on behalf of somebody.
Well, I'm here. I'm not appearing. I can't appear. I'm not a ghost. I'm a real woman. I'm a natural person.
Well, ma'am, I don't know what you mean. We're looking for the real
Oh, no,
person,
hold up.
woman.
I think I done messed up, guys. Let's see here. For some reason, my headphones just cut out. Let's see here. No, that's good. Can you guys still hear it for like the 2 seconds it was up? Interesting. Let me. No? Did it go back? Well, okay, let's just play it, see what happens.
Actual person of Tracy
Okay,
Moore.
never mind.
Where's she?
Jump the gun.
But she can be her.
She what?
She can be here.
Well, where is she? Because if she's
Yeah,
not
they're
here,
good. They're good.
and we don't have anybody else that occupy the premises that are at issue, then he's entitled to a default judgment because
Yeah.
nobody's here.
No, I'm here and
Well, who are you? You keep saying you're on behalf of somebody. I don't even know who you are. The case just says occupants. We had somebody named Tracy
can
came
we put
before,
beneficiary?
but what?
Can we put beneficiary?
Can you be a beneficiary?
Yeah.
No, you have to be the person
No.
or that's occupying the premises. It's gotta be somebody that's inside living in the premises here, and nobody's here.
Well, I am.
Except the
alone,
lawyer.
and I'm living.
Yeah,
There you go.
but who are you?
I'll tell you that I can be Tracy.
You tell me you can't
Yeah,
be.
I can,
Okay.
I'll be Tracy for this.
Are you Tracy for this purposes? Tracy Moore.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, Tracy Moore.
Okay.
occupant.
Fantastic. Your Honor, this has to do with a foreclosure of residential real property located at 19710 West 13 Mile, apartment 206 in the city of Beverly Hills within this court's jurisdiction. There was a foreclosure sale that commenced on January 10th of 2023 with a redemption period expiring July 10th of 2023. This case was subsequently filed for possession of the property because the redemptive amount was not tendered to HP Foreclosure Solution, redeeming the property.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Callahan. I hate to ask you this. Sorry. You know,
Yes.
can you start over again? The foreclosure was here when?
In January 10th of 2023.
So this year, okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The redemption period is 6 months.
Yes,
That was July 10th of 2023.
yes.
No redemptive amount was made by Tracy Moore or anybody representing Tracy Moore.
It was refused. Excuse me.
Your Honor, no redemption amount was tendered to my client. And this case was subsequently filed in August of 2023. And here we are. I have received from the person stating for the purposes of this hearing to be Tracy Moore, I don't know what this is, a notice of payment of $749.97. It's clear on the face that it's not a check. It was not tendered. When I asked the young lady standing next to me if that amount was paid, she stated that no amount was paid. Because
What is it that she gave you?
I don't know. It's a notice of payment under, as defined by 12 CFR section 229.2 sub U, which is a non-negotiable instrument apparently, but it's not a check. So no money has been sent.
Okay.
There's a series of IRS filings that are not applicable to anything at all. I don't know if that was
I smell
filed with
weed.
court, but the crux of this is that production was not paid, was not tendered to my client. My client has title vested 100%, and they're seeking possession at this point.
Was there a dispute or still is?
Yeah, it's a dispute. It's my own.
Okay, well,
I'm in there.
what is your dispute?
Where is the contract that I have with them, with HP? I'm not a tenant. I've been there for 8 years. I have invested, more than invested interest in the home. It was foreclosed unlawfully. And I'm in the process of filing a court case on this. I know I'm behind schedule on
I
this.
don't know what the schedule for that is. I
Yeah.
can say this, though, that I do have a sheriff's deed from January of 2023 listing some property that, let's see, was being foreclosed on.
That, yeah, unlawfully.
So she's saying it's being done unlawfully. But if you check today's date, as of 3 minutes ago, it's December 1st. And this all started January of this year. So she's been doing this for almost a year.
149,388.68. See, when was the sale? That was on the
The
10th.
sale was
The
July 10th, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Well, the
payment-
redemption period was over on July 10th. And so it was published in the legal news.
Published something too, some things, and I don't have it with me.
It seems to me, Your Honor, that the lady standing to my right is trying to challenge the foreclosure, and that time period has well passed, and this is not the court to do
Yeah,
that.
that we're in the wrong court.
No, we're not, Your Honor.
Yeah, because I'm not a tenant. I'm
Okay,
a owner.
man. Well, that's just the characterization of landlord and tenant.
No,
But
definitely
it's
not.
for
There's no
anybody
contract.
that's in premises where they don't have the right to possess them. They can come here. And the right to possess is based upon who has the deed, basically. And in this case, they're saying they got a sheriff's deed because the property was properly, they claim properly foreclosed upon.
No, it was
If
not.
you're challenging the foreclosure, I don't know what you're claiming that's wrong with the foreclosure.
Well, the note was separated from the mortgage, number one, and you can't do that.
Okay.
And Your Honor,
That's against the law.
when you purchase a home, there is a promissory note and there's a deed that is provided. Those are two separate and distinct things. We are not discussing that. We're discussing whether or not my client has the legal right to possession of this property, and that there is no defense.
There is a defense.
Well,
The home is
ma'am,
in
you say
probate.
you filed another case about to quiet this title because you believe something is wrong with
Oh,
it.
yeah, no, I'm not, I believe, I have proof. I have
So
a,
where's the other case pending?
that's what I was trying to get down there to file it. I just haven't made it. But I will be there this week for sure.
Because right now, all I have is what they provided to me.
And
I didn't send you a copy of what I had sent them when I tendered the payment and they sent it back.
But ma'am, I don't know what you mean by payment. He says it wasn't a check. What was it?
Okay, it was a negotiable instrument. that could have been used as a check, but it was.
Well, what was behind it? What kind of negotiable
Well,
insurance?
it was connected to the treasury.
Your Honor, may I approach?
The treasury, like the US treasury?
It was the Michigan treasury, not the big one.
I would ask, is this what you're?
Yeah,
piece of paper from?
yeah, no, it's part of it.
I'm holding in my hand a document that said this is a non-cash item, not a check on the top. And may I approach, Your Honor, so you can take a look? This is what we're discussing.
Okay.
So she's trying to say she made a payment and use something that says it's not a payment and then admitted it's not a payment. But sure, you're going to win your house back.
I don't know what this is. It's got some numbers on it.
It's not drawn from a bank. It's not a check.
It was gonna be drawn. from-
Payable through Tracy Moore and done in good faith. That's her address. It says it's paid to HP Foreclosure. And then it
Yeah,
has the
one-
United States Treasury,
Yeah, one-
Pennsylvania
I wanted to say-
Avenue, real property for set off an adjustment. And it's signed by Miss Moore without recourse.
I want her to
This
say
is
she's paying with her
void or
birth
prohibited.
certificate or her social security number.
Non-cash item per 12 CFR subsection 229.2 U1, 2, and 4. And it says here, this is a non-cash item as defined by that section I just said of CFR and issued according to 12 CFR 229.2 K3 and 4. Non-cash item means an item that would otherwise be a check, except that a passbook, certification, or other document is attached or is accompanied by special instructions, a request for special advice or payment or dishonor, or it has not been pre-printed or post-encoded in magnetic ink with the routing number of the paying bank.
Oh, it's for sure monopoly money. 1,000.
I believe in other words, it's a piece of paper. It's nothing.
A negotiable demand draft by the US Treasury, a demand draft drawn on the
Same
state
thing.
government or unit of general local government that's not payable through a bank.
Pope Phil, yeah, no, it's not Josh. Everyone thought it was either going to be Josh or Jeremiah, but it was just a random ginger guy who's a terrible person.
Okay, I mean, you just, I don't know what this is, but you said that no money accompanied this. So, and this was, I don't know when it was dated, June 10th.
Mhm. It was within the time period,
But,
but they held it and then.
well, let me ask you
they
this,
sent it back.
where were they supposed to cash this?
Well.
Even the
they
judge
didn't
doesn't know
send
what's going on.
everything To the treasury. It was all the original, it was everything. All they had to do was just send it to the treasury.
And the treasury has $153,749.97 that belongs to you, that then they were just gonna pay to them.
Yes,
Okay. I don't see how that could happen.
well, we wouldn't.
Damn, I
know
don't know what
until
you're
they
talking
sent it
about.
back.
Because my client can't do anything with that.
Well, why, when I called, why didn't they say that? They held it for 2 weeks.
They don't
And
need to do
then-
anything with that. It's not a payment. If there was a payment, they would have to accept that payment. There was no payment.
So, other than your issues thinking that something's wrong with the foreclosure itself,
Oh, yeah, if I had a securitization audit done,
okay,
and it shows it, and
well, ma'am,
in
I guess my question is this. If I'm gonna have a trial, which is what today's date was originally scheduled for, I just see some real question of fact. I'm not exactly seeing it. I got a sheriff's deed And I know it's a redemption period of 6 months. You got this, which is, to my knowledge, not any type of cash item. And I don't see how they could, where they would take it to even try to remit or cash it.
All right, we have our first thing we have to talk about for a second. Yes, if that's how it worked, they could easily just go to the Treasury themselves and get the money and say, here you go. Like, let's just cut out the middleman. I'll just do it myself. But instead, oh, I don't know why you didn't just cash it. Why don't you just go to the Treasury and cash it? Crush the, oh my God. That was my best video. I want to say he was wearing like a blue shirt, drawing a blank on his name. But it was my best video. It had like 450,000 views, and it was like 46 or 44 minutes long. It was a great video because the guy just couldn't get it in his head that he was wrong.
I mean, it's like I don't know where you got it from. It says the documents are background and micro printing, and there's an artificial watermark on the reverse side. I have no idea where you got this and how they were supposed to cash it.
Just needed to send it in. And I would like to know, how do they have title if I'm living in a home? I thought 9/10 of it was possession.
I don't know what that means either. I can tell you that they went through what is known to be a valid process in Michigan, which is a foreclosure by advertisement.
That is so not constitutional.
Yes, she just tried the possession is 9/10 of the law for a foreclosure.
And that was why I had brought
Angelo,
up
no,
also.
Angelo Williams was
Kind of make sure that I got a little help, because you took a
so just because you said that, Angelo Williams isn't that guy. Angelo Williams is a guy that I covered a few times, who's actually in jail for murder now. I'll try to pull up that video, but it wasn't Angelo Williams, I don't believe. Angelo Williams was the guy who didn't have his license and was like talking to his guru at the same time. And then eventually, because he was the guy who tried to say he wasn't Angelo Williams, the judge just said, all right, well, tell Angelo Williams that he needs to show up for court or he'll get a warrant. And then he showed back up and said, oh, it's me. Now I have to go find that video.
uphold the Constitution. And
And I'm very fully willing and able and capable of doing that. But where's the constitutional issue here?
well, that's
This
it.
is a matter of Michigan statute.
No, but it's not a law. Statutes are not
Okay,
laws.
then what are they?
What do you mean, what are they?
If they're not laws, what are they? They're on the
They're
book.
not.
They're on the
not
books as
God's
laws in the
They're not
state. So
God's
I'm
laws.
not sure if they're not laws to you, what are they?
No, I mean, they're laws in a sense, but not laws by the Constitution. They're laws made by Congress. Congress makes the
Well,
law.
ma'am, they're federal law and they're state
Yes,
law.
but yes, but
But
state comes from the federal.
no, it doesn't. What do you mean it comes from it?
Not-
Do you realize you got 50 sovereign states here that can do their own thing, separate aside from what the federal government does? And they do it all the time, all the time. What they can't do is something that is a constitutional violation of their state constitution or the federal constitution. I don't see what this is a violation
Wait, who?
of a constitution. Just to foreclose on property when the bill hasn't been paid.
But it was foreclosed unlawfully from Huntington. They didn't have a right to foreclose. They separated the note. And that's a known fact. They never recorded the note. They recorded the mortgage. And you're not supposed to do that. That's what part of the affidavit said on the man, the gentleman that did the audit for them. That is not lawful.
Your Honor, if that's the case, there was plenty of time to challenge that in the circuit court. This is not a forum the time has lapsed for that to be challenged.
You know, it's fraud. It's always a challenge and fraud.
You know, I've got some case law here on the fact that, you know, the time to challenge these kinds of things in the foreclosure would be during the time that you have redemption. It would be at the circuit court. I mean, at this point, the redemption period is over, but if there's something that went wrong with it, the circuit court could rule on it, but you don't even have a case there.
Or I will. I'm working on it.
Well, you know, ordinarily, I mean, this would be the trial date, but I just don't see where the issue of fact is that would require us to actually have a trial in this instance.
What I'm asking, can you give us a trial date, please?
This is the trial date.
Oh, okay.
You're here, lady.
Yeah, this is the trial date. And of course, I'd have him call witnesses if I thought it was necessary, but I don't see where it's necessary. I mean, all the documentation he has looks good, and you don't have any documentation that says this is not good, except for your statements that you believe are accurate. And if you wanted to file something, you have plenty of time to file something, Ms. Moore, to challenge this in the proper court. This court just says, was there a proper foreclosure? You know, did they follow? There's just a process, there's procedures, you know? When they file it, they have to give certain notice, do certain things, give a redemption time.
They still didn't do that properly.
Well, what didn't they do?
Well, they were supposed to have served me and they didn't. They were
Served
just-
you or what?
Served me on the first paperwork. They were sticking stuff on.
So you say it was never noticed in any kind of way? It wasn't tacked?
No, I'm not saying never, but I wasn't personally served.
You don't have to be personally served if they can't find you personally. They have alternate means to tack and do
Yeah.
things.
They didn't really. But still, this.
Did you want to say something?
No, Your Honor, I'm just asking for a judgment to issue provided until December 7th for all occupants of the residential real property at 19710 West 13 Mile Apartment 206.
You know, wait.
Come on, out with it.
Okay, well, the court is constrained to have to grant his relief because they don't see the issue of fact here for trial. It appears based upon a review of all the documentation that's been provided that there was a valid foreclosure sale, redemption period has passed. There was some type of something proffered that doesn't appear to be known legal tender for the, I guess, the redemption amount. And if there is any question about the foreclosure itself or the validity of this tender, I think.
Yeah, she's like, can I get a trial date? And it's like, ma'am, you must be behind because this is the trial date.
Point should have been litigated at the circuit court. So I'll go ahead and get the judgment of possession for the plaintiff.
I object.
Yeah, and you'll have, after I sign this judgment, you'll have 10 days to file an appeal. The writ date will be,
Yeah.
if I have the judgment today.
Say it's not the way.
December 7th. And that's the appeal date.
Thank you, Mayor Pro. It's not a new form with the silly box on the top. I don't know if you want me to get a new judgment form or just.
What's missing?
There's on the new scale form has a box that says Your Honor agrees and feels that this is fair. That's the only real difference between them. So I don't know.
Well, we have a
what
lot-
scale's doing. So
We have a lot of these, so I guess I agree because I'm signing. it.
exactly, that's my point. Thank you, John.
Okay. So if you're going to appeal, you need to do it before December the 7th.
Yes, I will do it.
December 7th.
Okay.
So in 6 days.
All right, and you might want to get this back to her.
So if I remember correctly, this is her second time appearing in front of this judge. The first time apparently she showed up and the attorney didn't. Then the attorney showed up later and said, yeah, I was like, had like a medical situation or something along those lines, but didn't tell anyone in the court. So he just didn't show up. So like, all right, well, we'll set it for a trial date. And now this is the trial date for foreclosure of some nonsense. And she just shit the bed, if you will.
Who's ever this is. Oh. Yeah, I conclude the matter.
I forgot which judge. You guys can let me know because you guys probably watch more of these than I do. There was a judge who basically made this exact point. He said, you know, you could pull out your own tooth. You could give yourself a root canal. But you're going to want the guy who went to school to do it. And then another judge was like, oh, I could go to your job and do what you do, but I have no idea how to do it. So it would just be a fucking shit show. That's why you should let the attorney who went through years and years of schooling do that instead of you.
Want a copy of this, will be downstairs at window number 4.
Okay, thanks.
All right. That's it for that. Yeah, the lawyer who missed the first date was a real lawyer. I want to say it was a medical situation where he had to like go to the hospital or the doctors like right then and couldn't tell anyone. Yeah, the accelerated degree, it runs through a certain 20-year law scholar. It comes with a trifold, and it only takes you one single payment to his PayPal or Cash App. Let's see. Oh, God. It could have been. He was the opposing counsel. He wasn't hers. She's been trying to do this shit the entire time. Also, funny story. Well, it's not funny. It's just very odd. So if you recall, I had a Thanksgiving thing on Sunday. Oh, Jesus. So Sunday we had our Thanksgiving thing, had a bunch of people over. Her friend who works with her came over with her husband, or I think it's her husband or boyfriend, and their 2 kids. Well, everybody had a great time. There was like 20 people here. Great time. If you guys notice, I'm like coughing and all that jazz. I keep trying to mute it before I cough. So he went to the doctor's 2 days ago because he was having chest pains. He's a few years older, or actually, I think he's a few years younger than me. Anywho, he went to the hospital, thought something was crazy happening. It turns out he has the Rona. So now I've had to keep the kids home from school yesterday and going to keep them home today until we get some of the old testy tests. But I'm pretty sure I got the ick again. But if you guys remember the last time I had the old ick, I beat it in 3 days and ran 4 miles on day 3. So that's exciting for me. Let's see here. Okay, so I heard the Angelo Williams thing. And if you guys recall, Angelo Williams is from my area, if you will. My aunt actually used to live in the city that he got all this. Somebody said the word or asked me what fuck shit meant. So I'm going to use the term fuck shit when he was doing all that shit where they used to live. But we're going to watch the video. I actually did this. Let's see here. It's going to be a me video doing it. I'm going to. Oh God, I still got to watch this Oopaville video. All right. So this is going to be me speaking. I have less facial hair. There's a fire in the background instead of lightning. I believe it's from 1 month ago. Has 3,000 views, shockingly. But we're going to watch that just because somebody said Angelo Williams. Weems was from Ypsilanti. I think Middleton is more north. But this is what I'm talking about. God, my face is just so hideous in this video. There we go. But yeah, so let me skip ahead here. There, smile or something, Kevin. Jesus. Anywho, he went from no license and all that shit to this. So we're gonna watch this. Okay, so I know we're here to talk about Angelo Williams. There's a huge update, pretty crazy update actually. But for those of you who don't know who Angelo Williams is, I'm gonna play a few clips from his previous Zoom court hearings before we get to the meat and potatoes of why we're actually here.
Right, Mr. Weems, you are, as you know, entitled to be represented by an attorney, and I think I would not be alone in telling you that that is your best course of action. I hear that you do not want to accept an appointed attorney or to hire an attorney on your own. Is that true?
No, I'm here as intervener and authorized representative for Angelo Williams.
I
That's
don't
not gonna
understand
fly.
anything you said, sir.
Said I'm here as intervener and as authorized representative for Angelo Williams.
All right, so we've kind of known the further in the rabbit hole you get in the sovereign citizen lifestyle, the more you are likely to lash out in violence. You know, foreshadowing for the end of the video. Now we're going to show the next clip where the prosecutor just says, we want a warrant because we don't know if this guy's actually Angelo Williams or not. And he tries to, oh, I just said I'm specially appearing. It's all bullshit.
Your Honor, just for the court's perspective, as I don't know who the author of the letter was. It is signed Angelo Williams, but
Your Honor, Angelo Williams, specially appearing.
I'm going to assume that the letter was.
So the thing I love about Angelo Williams is he's so committed that he just keeps saying the same thing and hopes that if you say it enough times, you will will it into existence and make it a thing.
Not an offer to pay in any kind of manner or any offer to provide anything of value to the prosecutor's office in return for a lack of prosecution. I'm going
He's
to
not
make
allowed to speak to me. He's not my attorney.
assumption that Mr. Williams would not be trying to bribe the government in any kind of way. So I'm not aware of what we would do with that, as I want to look at it as it is not an offer to provide something of value to the prosecutor's office, as that would be illegal. So I'm gonna say that that is not what that was for, and leave it that it is something that the people are unable to understand or ascertain the veracity of those statements, but the people would stand on our request for a bench warrant, Your Honor, since Mr. Williams is not present.
I heard you. I will issue a bench warrant.
All right, so he got the warrant, ended up coming back later in that Zoom hearing, kind of groveling, not wanting the warrant, admitted he was him and wanted to represent himself. They helped him out as best they could. Now we're going to jump to the meat and potatoes, why we're all here. So I found this on We Got a Case, who looks like they got it from Credence and Mikey. Again, I'm from this area. I had no idea. So what's funny is that's who I showed the first video from, and I didn't even put two and two together. But I found it yesterday. I thought it was hilarious. Decided to bring it to you guys. So we're going to pick it up about 6 minutes and 30 seconds into the 13-minute video. Enjoy.
Is Angelo Williams.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert J. Kilwall, presently Angelo's attorney.
All right. I have from you, let's deal with this first. I have your motion to withdraw in the matter. Go ahead, sir.
No, that's correct, Your Honor. Mr. Weems doesn't feel like I'm doing.
Is Attorney Kilowald the same one that, oh God, again, you guys need to help me out here. Is Kilowald the one that keeps representing Jeremy Shue? Answer that for me, because Kilowald sounds familiar, and with Simpson, I just think of Jeremy Shue.
Job for him. Communications pretty much stopped. I wish him well on his future case, but he does not want me on the case.
So Mr. Weems doesn't think his attorney is doing his job effectively enough to probably get him out of these charges. What charges, you ask? Well, cool story here. Yeah, allegedly he unalived someone. Let me see here, get the date. Wednesday, June 28th at 11:15 p.m. Sheriff deputies were originally called to the area on reports of shots fired and a man down. When they got there, Mr. Darian Taylor, who was 30, they rendered aid. He passed because of his injuries. And our boy, Angelo Williams, 34, was arraigned at the 14A District Court before Judge Alicia Fink. I'm pretty sure we've all seen Fink at some point in these videos. So he was charged with open murder, carrying a concealed weapon, possession of a firearm by a felon, possession of ammunition by a felon, and felony firearm in relation to the shooting. So yeah, Mr. Weems is not having a good time. We're going to finish out the rest of this video. That's really the update, but we're going to keep going.
Mr. Weems, is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, I will grant the motion to withdraw. Sign that one, and then there is having granted that, actually I'm signing two orders, but that would mean that the assigned council manager has selected Erica Julian to represent the defendant.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Erica Julian now appearing on behalf of Mr. Weems.
So I have defendant's motion for bond at this time, and that was filed, I believe, by Mr. Killowald. Would you be prepared to go forth on that bond motion, or you want me to put this out so that you have time to prepare and talk to Mr. Weems?
I would prefer the latter, Your Honor. I did receive a preliminary police report, so I could at least briefly meet with Mr. Weems yesterday. And we were able to have that meeting, and we did have a conducive meeting. We had a good report to begin with, and but there's a great deal of discovery that I have yet to receive. And I think that that would be important to have before going forward with the bond motion. So I'd be asking to put that off, as well as an adjournment for about a month, about 4 weeks out, just because I understand that there are about 85 videos that I would need to download and review, as well as receive a medical examiner's report, additional discovery from Mr. Killowald. There's just a great deal going on.
The first thing I think of when I see her background is Lucky Laptop News saying he has law books.
Response on any of that from the people?
Your Honor, it does seem to make sense that Ms. Julian would need some time to get caught up in the case. I will let Ms. Julian and the court know that the co-defendant, Ms. Williamson, is currently scheduled for preliminary examination on October the 10th before Judge Burke.
All right, and what they're talking about now is Regina Williamson, who was 31, was arraigned July 3rd by Magistrate Fink, shout out to you, on 6 charges in connection with the June unaliving. She was charged with 1 count of accessory after the fact to a felony, assault with a dangerous weapon, felony firearm, assault and battery, and 2 counts of carrying a concealed weapon. All those are felonies except for the assault and battery. But yeah, it was connected in the where is it? The same thing as our friend Angelo Williams. So yeah.
It would, of course, be the desire of the people to hopefully do 1 preliminary examination between these 2 defendants. So I don't have an objection to the request for adjournment. My request would be if we could maybe consider a shorter adjournment for the probable cause conference, perhaps to the 21st, if the court's willing, and then schedule the preliminary examination for October the 10th. And I will do everything I can to make sure Ms. Julian has information.
Do you think that would work for you, Ms. Julian? And maybe that's the wise way to go. That way you could meet with Mr. Weems. Discuss what you can discuss, and then we would still have a little bit of room in there if we needed to before the 10th comes around.
I do understand, Your Honor. I know that the co-defendant is charged with being an accessory, and Mr. Williams is charged with the homicide itself, and that there may be that there's been investigation done, as well as additional investigation that may need to. So it's difficult for me without having everything now to guess whether or not it would be ample time or adequate time to be ready to go on a homicide prelim on October 10th.
Well, here's the other option. And what I'm going to do is this. I think I'm going to put it out to the 28th. And then what we can do at that point is figure out where you are and maybe even loop Judge Burke into the conversation so that maybe he might put the other one off a little bit to allow everybody to be together if that were what was going to happen.
That works, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Your Honor, the only difficulty is unfortunately I'm not available on the 28th. So if Miss Julian, if you do want that date, will be another prosecutor covering. Otherwise, we could look at the 5th, knowing that the idea may be to go ahead and move to an exam 5 days after that. I just want to do the best to consider this. The court knows that this matter has been pending for some time. The people have never objected to an adjournment from the defense. But unfortunately, with having the two folks going, we do sort of need to move this case along as well.
All right. So let's do this. I'll adjourn the probable cause to the 5th of October. That's actually that 30-day range you were looking for it anyway, Miss Julian.
Yes, Your Honor.
At 9. Well, yeah, the problem is, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deny without prejudice the motion for bond, so that if you seek to raise it again, you may. That way I can put it in a 9 o'clock block and do it that way, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then we can look at that, and then we can always try to work with Judge Burke to just in terms of scheduling and time and the like. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have the lab report regarding the death, and I have a pretty big thumb drive. I'll drop off at your office tomorrow.
That sounds great. Thank you, Mr. Killawald.
Thanks.
Okay, you got all that, Mr. Weems?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So this bond will continue as denied at this point. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
So that's basically all I can. All right, KFAR, be quiet. Get out of here. All right, so I'm actually going to, whenever I get done doing this stream, I'll probably hop into the Washtenaw County prison system and see if our boy Angelo Williams has any updates. Because after I made that video, I just kind of, 1 month ago, KFAR was very irresponsible when it came to checking on Angelo Williams for whatever reason. Let's see what other things we got. I'm just going to hit the YouTube home button and see what pops up. There's that video again. There's that video. Karen video. Oh, let's see here. Oh, man, I missed the game. That's disappointing. Let's just take a gander here and see who won the the Red Wings game today. I need a win. It was against Chicago, 5-1. That's solid. Okay. Hey, this month's KFAR has put out a few decent videos. All right, let's see who scored. JT Comfort, 2 goals. Robbie Favre, 2 goals. Bedshiro, 1 goal. That's acceptable. I am okay with that. Yeah, you can DM me tomorrow. If anybody wants to DM me, my email's out there, my Discord's out there. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and any platform you could throw a dart at. I am probably on it under the name KFAR_YT, because turns out KFAR is it's taken everywhere but YouTube. Yeah, Michigan won. That was pretty solid. No, I'm trying my damnedest to get back into hockey. And then I tried to get into it last year, watched probably triple the amount of games I have any other time. And then this year I've watched a majority of the games. And it just happens that as I'm watching a majority of the games, the Red Wings decided to be good. So that's pretty solid. Oh, I can feel myself getting ick sick. And I just hope I don't lose my voice. I can't do another losing my voice time. All I know is, I watched like 3 seconds of it before I turned on the lightning. And I know, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Went to West Virginia. Geno Smith. He was going crazy. And then I turned it off. All right, let me try to find a video here because I'm just going to be up. The problem is I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and it was about the Earl David Wardens type people and all that stuff in certain social media groups and whatnot. And now for some reason, that's all YouTube wants to pitch me is just people catching the Earl David Wardens of the world. Oh, Lord. Let's see here. I want to play that video, but that's going to make some people angry. Oh, God. Also, if you haven't noticed or weren't on YouTube like 2 hours ago, Law Talk with Mike went live to discuss that dog case again, that dog bite case, because there was an update. There was an update because the dog bit somebody else. And it was like the longest case ever. Make a panel and we can go after whom? I'm going to be honest with you. The last hockey game I went to was no hockey game. Oh boy. I bought tickets to me and one of my, I think it was my ex-wife. We bought tickets to the Red Wings Capitals game. Oh, whoever I'm watching. Okay. Yeah, we went to buy tickets to the Red Wings Capitals game because I'm from Michigan, so the Red Wings are my jam. And then the Capitals became my team when I was in the Navy because that's the only game we could get was the Capitals. And we were going to hang out with my best friend and his girlfriend, which I think is his fiance now. We were scheduled to do that. We were going to fly up here, go to the game, fly back when I was on leave. And then they're like, oh, by the way, we're going to go on an underway. So instead of going to my first ever hockey game with the two teams I actually enjoy, I was in the middle of the ocean driving an aircraft carrier in figure eights, not doing anything I wanted. Good times, though. Great time. Yeah, I just saw, I think it's the first one, the first video with the dog bite with Big and 2. I just saw it on his channel as I'm scrolling. Dear God. All right, I'm going to take a shot here. Do I want to take this shot? Tommy V and MI put out a video 6 hours ago that looks like it's going to be a fun video to watch, but it sounds sketchy at the same time. I'm trying to think here what video I want to watch. It's only 11 minutes long. We're not okay. Fine, we'll do it. I looked up that. About to run through all of Tommy V and MI's videos today. See, and either of those games I would have loved to go to. Tommy V and MI, if you are not subscribed, go over there. He does court stuff and he actually adds things to court instead of just randomly copying it and throwing it on the internet with nothing. And then wondering why he doesn't get paid for it. It's very strange. But yeah, go. Oh, just so you guys know, Tommy V, again, is from my area. Obviously, Tommy V in Michigan. Tommy V will put out his videos. He'll try to get me the raw footage so that I can do what I do. Yeah, he'll try to do that every time, but I'll try to wait a hefty bit so that he actually gets all of his views. Hey, I'm adding things. Pope Phil, you know which channels I'm talking about, where they'll take a court case and throw it up and add nothing. They won't add commentary. They won't add comments in the video with text. They'll just play it and then be like, I don't know why I got copyright struck. I hit the play button. Okay. All right. There we go.
On the record in state of Michigan versus Marlon Blackwell 2303377FY.
Assistant Federal Defender Joseph Hardy on behalf of Mr. Blackwell.
And you, sir, you are Marlon Blackwell?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Blackwell, today is the date for your arraignment. What I have here is a felony complaint. This alleges on or about between the dates October 14, 2023 and November 9 of 2023 in the city of Lansing, in County, Michigan. Count 1, conspiracy to commit witness intimidation, committing a crime threatening to kill or injure is a felony complaint. This alleges on or about between the dates October 14, 2023 and November 9 of 2023 in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan. In count 1, conspiracy to commit witness intimidation, committing a crime threatening to kill or injure. That you did unlawfully conspire, combine, confederate, and agree together with Lamar Kemp, Jessica Baum, Eliana Jackson, and or other unknown persons to commit the following listed offense. Discourage or attempt to discourage an individual from attending as a witness, testifying, or giving information at an official proceeding by threatening to kill or injure a person, and or did influence or attempt to influence testimony at an official proceeding by threatening to kill or injure a person, and or did willfully impede, interfere with, prevent, or obstruct, or attempt to willfully impede, interfere with, prevent, or obstruct the ability of a witness to attend, testify, or provide information in an official proceeding by threatening to kill or injure a person. That is a felony punishable by 15 years and or $25,000 and $10,000 additional.
Imagine throwing your life away because you wanted to intimidate a witness of a homicide investigation. Entitled college kids. I don't have to worry about that for another 10 years. Oh, God.
Count 2, witness intimidating, committing a crime, threatening to kill or injure. That you did discourage or attempt to discourage an individual from attending as a witness, testifying, or giving information at an official proceeding by threatening to kill or injure a person, and or did influence or attempt to influence testimony at an official proceeding by threatening to kill or injure a person, and or did willfully impede, interfere with, prevent, or obstruct, or attempt to willfully impede, interfere with, prevent, or obstruct the ability of a witness to attend, testify, or provide information in an official proceeding by threatening to kill or injure a person. This is a felony punishable by 15 years and or $25. A consecutive sentence may be imposed for any other conviction. Do you understand the charges and the possible penalties, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to have an attorney in this matter. If you cannot afford one, we can see if the public defender will represent you. You have the right to have a trial that can be by jury. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or in writing will be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney present with you during any questioning by law enforcement. Do you understand these rights, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you requesting a public defender to assist you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, okay.
Good call.
And Mr. Hardy, you
Good
did
call.
the intake and submitted that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Blackwell, you have the right to have a preliminary examination. That's a hearing where the government must bring some evidence to demonstrate probable cause to believe these felonies occurred and probable cause to believe that you're the person who committed these felonies. You're first going to have a probable cause conference with me. That is scheduled for December 7 at 9 a.m. That's a day for you, your lawyer, and the prosecutor to make sure you have all the information and evidence you need to be ready for preliminary exam. The preliminary exam is scheduled for December 14 at 10 a.m. It's the day we will have you in person because evidence and testimony may be presented at that time. You should have received a copy of a court notice from the jail. Mr. Blackwell, are you on probation or parole in any court?
No, Your Honor.
Is the address they gave me for you?
No, ma'am, that's quite old.
Okay.
My new address would be
What's the city?
Hemlock.
I'm sorry, say it again, you cut out.
Hemlock. It's spelled Hemlock. Hemlock.
Okay, and what's the zip there?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
So the zip code for that is 48626.
Okay. And what's a good phone number to reach you, sir?
989-245-9852.
Mr. Hardy, would you like to be heard on bond?
So Mr. Blackwell is someone here who has not had any charges yet acknowledged concealed weapon from 6 as well as his prior operating law before that. He also acknowledges his last failure to appear being roughly a decade ago. Regarding his financing, he had one child at the financing, and his additional one in medical agreed. So definitely someone that has Michigan, and someone that's not really a risk at flight risk. So with the lack of any type of violent crimes, in addition to his ties to the community, we was really requesting to be our
I acknowledge he accurately reported his criminal history to you, but I will say that the affidavit of probable cause in this case regarding threats to murder witnesses in a homicide case are very, very serious. So I find that a personal recognizance bond at this time will not protect public safety. Bond will be set at $30,000 cash surety. I gotta add a couple people here to this list of no contact.
There. Well, I forgot about him until I saw somebody who did like a 40-minute documentary on Cyrax, and I'm just like, well, this is the worst thing ever, but I'm going to watch all of it. Jesus.
All right, conditions of your release, Mr. Blackwell, of course, are that you must appear for all of your court dates. You have two with me, which I told you are December 7 and December 14. Do not leave the state of Michigan without permission from the court. Do not commit crimes. Notify the court in writing if you change your address or telephone number. That is an obligation. You must notify us in writing if you change your address or telephone number. You must report to pretrial services the first business day following your release. You should receive a brochure from the jail with a phone number. You can call them or you can go there, but you need to report your first business day following your release. Do not use alcohol or illegal controlled substances. Do not possess a firearm or a dangerous weapon. Do not engage in any assaultive, intimidating, stalking, or threatening behaviors while on bond. Specifically, do not assault, harass, intimidate, beat, molest, wound, or threaten Megan Dean, Deshaun Handsome Spiker, or Yusuf Abdelkadir. You are not to have any contact with Megan Dean, Deshaun Handsome Spiker, Yusuf
All of the
Abdelkadir,
witnesses?
Jessica
No dog
Baum,
food.
and Ileana Jackson. No contact with any of these people whatsoever, not to cause a third party to have any contact with them. Further, you are not to be within 2,000 feet of where Dean, Deshaun Hanson Spiker, and Yusuf Abdelkadir live, work, or go to school. You violate an order of no contact, you could be arrested without a warrant. Your bond could be revoked. You could be in contempt of court, for which you could be sentenced to up to 93 days in jail and or $7 in fines, separate and apart from that which you already face. I'm also going to order a GPS because I think it's important for us to know that you're staying away from the people that I've ordered you to stay away from, but also that you're sticking around and not leaving the community.
So I have a video that we're going to play next, and that's going to be the last video.
You should know that the order of no contact applies even while you're in jail. If you do contact any of the prohibited people while you are in jail, you would be in violation of the court order, subject to potentially contempt of court. The penalties for contempt, as I mentioned, as well as loss of your telephone privileges, and the prosecution can use those against you. They make recordings of those calls. They listen to those calls. So remember that. And then, of course, I said, if you're out and you violate those orders, you're subject to being arrested, brought back to jail, and face additional penalties. These orders about you, not about them. If these people, any of them, were reaching out to you, that they might get, but if you respond in any way by text, phone call, meet up with them, any sort of way, you could be in contempt of court. They do not have authority to grant you permission to violate this court order because it is in fact the court's order, not their order. Mr. Hardy, anything else for Mr. Blackwell?
Okay, there's clearly like 30 seconds left in this video, so nothing else is going to happen. Yeah, Pope Phil, it's really that easy. Hey, can you not keep intimidating witnesses? Thanks. That's all that needed to be said. But no, so this is going to be a video that, again, I might still do it tonight because it's that good. Also, it doesn't help his case who is currently in his chat or who was in his chat. So this is going to be JC News Now. If you recall, I think I covered him in my last live stream where he's like, you don't want to get me angry, and then got into his car and started recording himself just acting like a clown by himself in his vehicle. Yeah, Mo rights. I have a First Amendment right to say whatever I want to whoever I want, even if it's threatening them with violence for being a witness. That's what a frauditor would say. But like I said, we're going to play this video, and then I'm going to hop off here and do something else. Lucky laptop. Yeah, for sure. So we're going to start 2 minutes in. I'm only going to play the phone call because the rest of it is just him trying to get other auditors to be friends with him, like auditing or accountability for all. Whatever Mootits Josh said the absolute most idiotic things in his chat. But here we go.
Accountability for all. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him that. I'm gonna ask him that. Alan Mott, what's going on? I'll give y'all a little story. What's going on with me? On the 25th, I went and did. I'm gonna check it out, man. I'll check it out, Midwest, for sure. I've been really busy lately. I haven't been watching a lot of videos, but I will get on that. So on the 25th, I went to sticky audits. Okay, there. Maybe that did it. I went to Ava, Missouri. It's a little town about an hour east of here. And when I got locked up, they wouldn't let me stay in Oregon County Jail in my county because they was afraid I was going to radicalize all the inmates. Whatever. Not me. Anyway, they shipped me off to Douglas County, which is about an hour.
No one fears that this glorified Keebler elf is going to radicalize anyone. Rebel Studio 2, it's actually funny you brought him up. That's the first page I checked to make my last video because the last video he made, he accused us of being trolls and being controlled by Satanism. That's what he accused us of being. Anyone who covers him is a Satanist, which I loved. He hasn't made a video in like 2 weeks. I think he finally gave up once his SovSit bullshit didn't work and he lost his truck. But yeah, he's not radicalizing anyone. That's not why they sent him. He was probably being an idiot. Like I said, this dude's probably like 5'2". He looks like he could be Lucky Laptop News' cousin. They look similar and they're both tiny.
Hour away. I stayed in the Douglas County Jail, and I learned a lot about Douglas County. I know the sheriff there has a body count, and it's up to 4, and that's what we know about. And I know this dude's crooked. Anyway, so I went there first to the sheriff's office, and they wouldn't accept my sunshine request. The dispatcher wouldn't take it, and they actually tried to trick me. They brought me, I said, all I need is a copy, and I'll get out of here. And they brought me back out a sunshine request, and I thought it was a copy, but I looked at it before I took it, and it was the original. And he said, here's your copy. I said, that's y'all's copy.
Yeah. Where was it? Only an idiot would fall for this idiot's attempts at radicalization. To be fair, it's people in prison, so right off the bat, they're not the smartest.
I will for sure, Sticky. But anyway, so the dude dropped it on the floor in front of me. It was a jailer that brought it out to me. So I left. I decided to go to the police department. It's a different entity. And so I went there and I got shoved out. They didn't like me filming in the police station. They followed me in my car, called me names, was fouled. None of them would identify. I didn't know it at the time, but the chief come out and yeah, it was just a big mess. Anyway, I get up this morning, I'm checking my comments on the video, and one of my viewers said, hey man, they run your story on the front page of the Douglas County Herald. And so I went to Google and I checked it out, and this dude wrote an article, and he said auditors theoretically have rights. That was the problem I had with it when he said theoretically. It's not a theory, it's a fact. We have rights.
You have rights, but the fact that they wildly misinterpret their rights, that's the problem. You have rights. You don't have the make-believe rights that you think you do. All amendments, all rights have limitations. None of them are absolute. But this guy thinks, and most auditors think, frauditors if you will, think that they should be able to take their camera anywhere and film anything whenever they want. Yeah, he's famous now. He has a problem with a real journalist. A fake wannabe journalist has a problem with a real journalist.
So, let's call the paper. I'm thinking about calling the paper. I'm curious about what I want to say. I've been thinking about this for a little bit. And I've got a pretty good mentor, advisor, friend, a dude I admire, and he's the guy that runs AFA. And I like what he's doing. He's run a few of my videos. He's out there constantly fighting for our rights, y'all. And he's a beast. He's the GOAT, in my opinion. Him and James Freeman. Anyway, hi Nanner, if you're watching. Claudette, good to see you. Anyway, he gave me a few encouraging words to think about. And I thought about it for about 30 seconds. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to call him. And
So if you remember Mutitz Josh, the guy who's apparently the GOAT of frauditing. And like I just said, they think you should be able to film and say whatever, wherever, whenever the hell you want. Yeah. Oh, good God. Josh Abrams is mentoring this idiot. Yes. But wait, there's more. That's Mutitz Josh is the guy from the library who accused an old man tucking in his shirt that he was a kitty wannabe toucher because he was looking the opposite way where kids were, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like, that's what these people think they can claim. They think they can make any claim they want against anyone and be fine. But if anyone, heaven forbid anyone criticize them, they have a problem with it.
I'm going to ask them why they ran the story, but they didn't say anything about the chief and about the way he treated me. Called me a homophobic slur, and I got it on camera, and I really lost my temper, and I've said some really foul words, and I'm trying not to do that anymore. But I want to call him.
Maybe that's why they ran the story on you. That you already said they talked about frauditors. So maybe they were talking about you because you flipped shit. You went full Napoleon complex and flipped shit. You just call the fat guy a beast, but apparently he thinks he's the Hulk. When he gets mad, he turns into the Hulk.
And I want to ask him, I'm going to say, hi, this is JC. I'm the one that was in the police station. I'm the auditor you ran the story about. So here we go. If I can figure out how to work my mom's phone. Bear with me, y'all. You know, I'm old and I'm not very technologically savvy, but I'm working on it. Let's see here. 417-683. 417-683-4181, I believe. Let's do this. Here we go. Sorry about the noise. I hope y'all can hear this.
Yes. Or even touch his phone. It's assault.
Hi, Christy. My name's JC, and y'all ran a story on an auditor in the police department.
The problem is that I think his name's like Jimmy or something. Like Unclean Hands. We have all this guy's information. Everyone knows his real name. So now he's trying to be not transparent. Be like, my name's JC.
And I'm the guy that was there. You want to talk a little bit?
Well, I'm just the office manager. The actual editor works in a different office.
Oh, okay. Can you connect me?
Nah.
I can give you her phone number.
Okay.
She's a couple hours away from me, so her office number is 573.
We're gonna skip ahead because yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that smoke.
It'll say it's a different newspaper, but she's also the editor of Douglas County Herald, and her name is Kim.
All right. And her name's Kim?
Yes, ma'am.
Kim?
Yes, sir. Yes.
You're awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yes, it's Jimmy. Yes. I knew it.
All right, let's try this. 573-223.
He looks like he smells like vape.
Oh, my battery's going dead.
So first off, everything about that statement was disgusting. Everything about this is gross. So apparently he's married now, has a 9-year-old stepchild and 2 dogs, tells the cops they're service dogs. He was approached because he was in front of an elementary school. Yeah, he was probably looking for little kids to eat. How you doing? I don't like the whole service dog thing. That's gross. Ah, yes. That's his name. Mootits Josh. Mootits Josh. Oh, that's the wrong. There we go.
Hi, Jill. Is Kim in?
Yes, can I ask who's calling?
Yeah, this is JC.
Who?
Okay, hold on, she might be on the other line.
Thank you so much.
Envelopes, announcements, flyers, and other commercially printed products. We are also an ASI distributor with access to thousands of quality promotional items, including.
I'm going to mute him for a hot second just to address this. He has a chilly style intro. My name is Blank. I'm a law scholar and YouTuber. My channel is Blank.
Douglas County. I'm the auditor that went to the police station. And I was just wondering if she wanted to ask any questions, or I had a couple questions for her.
Okay, let's just talk about this and then we'll play the video. First off, if you have a substantial criminal record, don't tell me you're a law scholar. Because right off the bat, your criminal record proves that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah, it's so many people are claiming they have a service tarantula. Like, that seems to be the new thing. Just point to an animal and say service animal. And it's just like, that's not the case. God. Yeah. Well, at least he gives his YouTube channel, though, because it's hilarious. I do believe that he did get married or is shortly, didn't DMA delays. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. I do recall that.
Let me see if I can interrupt there for a second.
Cool. You're awesome.
Unlike coverage of local news, we also offer complete coverage of the schools in the area, from sporting events to features recognizing individual or group academic achievement. Plus, our letters to the editor column offers our readers the opportunity to voice their views.
I hope everybody's doing good today. It's cold here. Oh, so good to see you.
No, Steve is not my support fish.
Trish, good to see you.
I have a support animal. Behold, cocaine baboon.
Elevator music. Gotta love it. Quinn.
Oh yeah, I believe that some people actually have service animals, but it seems like the cool, like,
Yeah, I'm gonna say
hipster
that.
female thing to do,
Say that.
to just point at your chihuahua and be like,
For
yes,
sure.
this is my service animal. And it's just like, is it though? Like,
So, Indiana, Matt the King, accountability for all.
I got Steve
thanks,
friends. He doesn't
Adelbert.
hang out with me anymore.
Appreciate you, man. Claudette, Sticky, Nick Johnson.
Sticky.
Visit our website for all your local news updated daily. Find your local news at
Let's go, boy.
This trolling thing, now I understand why they do it.
E-Edition is our complete newspaper delivered to your computer with pictures in full color. You will receive your digital e-edition quicker than you would receive your mailed print edition. Subscribe to either online.
Right on, Texas gal. Loving your stuff. Loving it. Yeah, I'm going to in qualified immunity.
I doubt
Wichita Falls.
I interrupted her. The chief said she thinks she has all the information she needs.
Oh, okay.
And she didn't watch your entire video, so.
Well, I was just curious. I was going to ask her if filming the cops was bad, and she forgot to mention that the chief called me a faggot. And I was wondering, that's kind of unbecoming of a cop, wouldn't you think?
I would say.
Also, she said that auditors have theoretical rights. And I don't believe that theoretical, I believe they're factual. And
Make a note of it and tell her.
also, I'm working on another story on that agency, and if she wants a little bit of a scoop, I've got some information for her.
Well, Well, let me get your number, and if she needs to, she can get in touch with you.
Well, I can give you my email if that's cool.
Oh, that's fine.
It's jch68@yahoo.com. And I'm JC.
No, you're Jimmy. You're Jimmy. Sorry to break it to you. You're freaking Jimmy. I saw a dog thing. If it's not a shepherd about it. Yeah, okay. That's fair. What is he up to now? He called a real journalist to complain because they wrote a story that seemed to be factually accurate, but because it didn't portray the frauditor as the white knight of the situation, he called to complain. And then has the nerve to say, I'm working on another story on that agency. You didn't have a story to begin with. You found an officer who had some on-duty shootings and is now the sheriff. And you're upset about it. Yeah, there's no story, and the only scoop he gets is from Dairy Queen. Exactly.
And I was just curious about why she didn't mention any of the chief's foul behavior, but she was just kind of talking about the auditors. Wouldn't you feel that accountability and transparency is very important, especially among police?
Well, I'm an office manager, so.
Yeah, but you're still.
I will give her your email address.
Yeah, but you're still you're an American though, and you have rights just like everybody else. You don't have an opinion?
I don't have an opinion.
All right. Well, I really, really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, and ask her, tell Kim if she wants to have a conversation. I've got a few questions for her, and I've also got a little information if she wants it.
Okay, I'll let her know.
All right, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
He gets the puppy cone at DQ because it's free.
Yeah, that's how it works around here. There's your mainstream media, even in a small paper. That's why auditing is important, y'all, because you get the real story.
Here comes a conspiracy.
You point a camera, the camera doesn't lie. I don't force people to act a certain way. None of us do. All we do... Yeah, I'm not giving her nothing.
So he commits crimes on camera, and then when he gets arrested and held accountable for that, he goes, I don't cause anybody to do anything. It's like, what do you call breaking the law? If you break the law while you're recording yourself, obviously that's going to get some sort of reaction from whoever just watched you break the law. Sorry. Also, I doubt God, he needs lots of Adderall. Can somebody look up that newspaper? Because I don't believe they get exactly much traffic because it's a local middle of nowhere newspaper. They're not the mainstream media. They saw your video, admittedly watched your entire video, and went, yeah, this guy's an idiot, and did a video or did a news story about it. And he has to start a conspiracy. I point the camera. This is the real news. No, you're not the real news, Jimmy. You're a criminal, and this is the only way you can get money. Like, it is what it is.
Just gonna have to wait. She'll see it like everybody else. She had a chance to speak. She had a chance to talk to me. I wasn't gonna give her anything anyway, because I've got very little myself. But what I've got is really, really gonna be a banger, y'all. It's gonna be a banger. Wait until you see what's coming up. I can't really divulge anything right now because I don't want to blow the lid off.
You just said you didn't have very much.
And my head's about to explode. I'm telling you right now, I don't want to sit still. I want to go back. There's an auction
get in the
there
house.
Friday or tomorrow at 2 p.m. on the courthouse lawn. They're auctioning one of my friends' houses off. They've got him locked up, and they wouldn't let him make a payment for some reason. So they're going to auction his house off. They are so crooked in this county. They've got it wrapped up. And they do stuff, and I've been hearing stuff for a long time on these folks. You know, and a lot of it I didn't believe until I checked it out. And when you get the same story 5 or 6 times from pretty reputable sources, it's most likely true.
Just so you guys know, yeah, it's called Foreclosure. Yeah. Just so you guys know, if your reputable sources are people you met in prison telling you their sob story about how they're innocent, those are not reputable sources. Every single person tells you that they're innocent. Every single freaking person. Are some of them innocent? Yes. Very, 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 very few and far between. Are they telling you the truth? Oh, Auditor watch. How's the Facebook conversations with two crazy people going? Yeah, let's watch this for a few more minutes, and I'm gonna try to go to bed.
But wait, just wait, y'all. It's gonna be a.
Just wait, y'all. Just wait.
It's gonna be a. It's gonna be a banger. That's all I can say.
It's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a banger.
Yeah. I'm not gonna tell anybody to call. But
I'm Jimmy.
The number's in the chat. I just won't tell anybody to call. I'll leave that up to the viewers to decide what to do. And I can't wait. Apparently, that chief took a 2-week vacation. I heard he took a 2-week vacation, and I'm not sure why. Nobody will answer questions. I did a records request over.
Do you know why he took a 2-week vacation? Because he can.
The phone to find out why, but I pretty much got to run around, and a records request was due yesterday that I did file. The lady called me and asked me if she could have 3 more days, and I told her sure, go ahead, because she said, well, it just hit my desk today, and this was yesterday, and she said, so I've got 3 more days, and I said, well, actually, I submitted it on Saturday, so Monday was the first business day, but if you need a little more time, I want to add a little stuff. And so I didn't know who the chief was then at that point when I entered my sunshine. In Missouri, they're called sunshine requests. And they're a little different than a FOIA. They have 3 days to answer you. They don't have to give you all the information, but they have to let you know that they're working on it.
Yeah, Pope Phil, that is that's the equivalent of when Long Island Audit was, I want to say, in the, oh God, where was it? One of the court things he had for trespassing. And he basically said, this is the name, phone number, office number, email, location of the judge. But don't call. Don't call. And it's like, Sean, we saw you just wink, bro. Like, we know the, hey, wink, wink, don't contact them, but here's all the information to contact them. It's like, what else would you be doing with that information? Yeah, because jobs give you vacations. Yes, that's something auditors wouldn't know about.
That's the way it works here. But anyway,
I think it was Danbury.
I want the Chiefs. I'm going to wait for the story to come out, AFA. I really would like to.
What story?
I really want to. Yeah, I might just do that right now. What do you think? What do you think? Think I should do it now, or should I wait for the story to come out? AFA. All right, let's do it right now. What does the chat think? Put a 1 in here if you think I ought to call the lieutenant. I'll set y'all down for a second. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, they're starting to step away from the journalist angle. Because I think at this point so many have been ruled against when they tried to claim, "Oh, I'm doing XYZ journalism. I am journalism." That they just kind of gave up on that grift. Some people still use it. What's his name? Auditing America just used it the other day in Alaska. I'm a citizen journalist. No, you're a criminal with a camera that apparently can't read. but he'll ask you what the Third Amendment is every single time. Bandit 2804 Weed Fund $6.99. I'm assuming that's $6.99 Canadian. Thank you. Yeah. If I recall, everyone where he audits knows who he is. And every single time he talks to somebody, they're like, Jimmy, what are you doing, bro? You're on probation. What are you doing? You literally cannot be doing this. Yeah, it's Elmo. He literally just did it the other day. And I couldn't do anything but just giggle because it's just like, bro, we've seen through this. The courts see through it. Everyone sees through this. We just realized that you're a glorified prank channel. You have a camera and you just say, oh, you know the law. What's the Third Amendment? And that's it. Shoot. Some of these auditors, there's so many that I cover that like SGV, I completely forgot he exists. Half of the West Coast auditors, I don't even remember their names. Yes, Afro Man did. Oh my God, what's his name? I think he's from the Northeast. Got arrested for people call flooding like while he was at the police station. Rose Tyler, how you doing? But yeah. He did. All the fun ones to cover are getting arrested. Afro Man, Maddie, like they're just getting arrested and getting charged and now they're in jail. And it's just like, oh, you guys killed my entertainment.
I'm sure I'm working mom's phone right. Oh man, I love AFA. He's the boss.
There's a lot to love.
Blech.
Please.
Hey, is the chief in?
He's not in today. Would you like to go to his phone? You can leave him a message.
No, that's all right. Is the lieutenant or the next ranking officer?
They're actually both out of the office, but once again, I can go to the phone. They can get the call when they come in. I'll tell them we have a phone call if you'd like me to send you back there.
I'll just try back later, I guess. What's your name?
David, I'm one of the dispatchers.
Oh, right on, David. I think I met you before.
You might have. I will let them know. If you don't want to send the message, I'll let them know you called.
All right, well, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about the lieutenant starring in a gay porn video?
No, I did not.
You want me to drop the link?
Yes, that's who it is. I can't ever remember their names, but yeah, like at the police station, he got hemmed up. Also, that's weird that he found it and B keeps talking about it.
Liar. 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 His pants are about to burst into flames. Oh my God. Now I know why the trolls do it. Now I know why the trolls do it. I'm gonna make a new channel and just troll. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm about to piss myself for laughing. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing great today. Yeah, he got off the phone. I want to call Kim back and ask her. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to be professional here, but I'm so far from professional, it's not even funny. Josh, tell Nanner I said hi. I'm sorry. You guys get a chance, go to AFA. If you're living under a rock and you're not subbed to Accountability for All, go check him out. Tell him JC sent you. Check out Northwoods Press, please. Like for this guy to grow. I want his channel to grow.
All right, I'm done listening to him. I'm done listening to Auditor speak. There we go. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. If you see that guy's face from that video on a video tomorrow, it's because I did the video for a video and not on a live stream. But yes, I will be hopping out of here. I will talk to you guys tomorrow at some point. More than likely, I might stream later tomorrow as well. I think this might be my time to stream. so that I'm not getting in anybody else's way in the middle of the day or at night. Anywho, yeah, like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Like I said earlier, I'm on YouTube, obviously. I just got a Twitter, Facebook, a Kick account, and a Twitch for all that jazz. I am going to probably make a video or 3 tonight and then take a shower, get my 2 hours of sleep, and then be up by 8. And I got my coffee ready to go. Me, Steve, and the boys. I guess this one. We're gonna do some random things. Yeah, in like 3 hours. All right. Everybody have a good day. Be safe. If you see any frauditors out there, or if you see Angelo Williams, just turn in the other direction and get out.